Lisa. Hey, Chris here again. Having a great time creating this business. It's now 20 past 11 at night, so we're going at it about 6 or 7 hours now. So we've just created our next step. Okay, so we did the first step with you before, which was over on this page, which was develop, how to create predictable results, and everything's there. And I thought it was really great, and so we're going with that still. It hasn't changed. The second step that we've now created, we're now 2/3 of the way to having our whole business pretty much created. So obviously this was a defined step. So we've built it out again, and I want to show you the simplicity and how I did it exactly the same as I did the first time. So I've thrown them all out, but we've had so many post-it notes thrown up, scrunched up, thrown out, all sorts of places. This has changed so many times. But we always start with the end in mind. So we think, okay, the step is to define what is it that I want my client to get from this step. Okay, I want them to be able to, with any client, any person, uncover where that person's blocked in their life. Okay, I want them to be able to do it with precision. Like a doctor, they want to be able to pinpoint it. So we've created our model, and I'm going to draw it out for you in a second. It's an A and B model and find the obstacle. So in here we've got all of the things that we think right now is going to be important for our client to know in creating our product. And remember, this just comes from my experience. I've been sitting here with Harriet and we've just been putting up different post-it notes and getting it out of our heads and going, how have we done with this client, remember this client, and working out all the different types. So we've found 15 different obstacles that we've found with our clients come up again and again and again. And then we've found a system for obstacles, which is what to look for, how to actually find them, and then the charge. So let me draw out the model so you can see the simplicity of how this business is starting to come together. Okay. So step 2 is define. After you develop your skills as a coach, remember again, I'm not talking to you, I'm talking to my potential client. After you develop your skills as a coach, the second step is to define that person. So when you define, and you've got to get clear, first off, you need to get clear at where they are. And I'm using the model that I might have already talked to you about. It's in a different way. Then you got to define where they want to be. Then the third step is you've got to actually find out their obstacles. Okay, so basically, you need to know who they are and where they are right now. So this is a now. And then you've got to find out where they want to be and what they want. Okay, and this is a future. Okay, and then their obstacles. Okay, so you've got to find out what has prevented. And this here is a past, because anything that's prevented somebody has always come from their past. Okay, so let me just check, because obviously I've literally just created this on the spot in the last hour and a half. So let's make sure I've got it, who and where they are. Okay, so then there's 3 things that we look for in here. I'll just grab a different color. Okay, so we want to look for their result. And we want to look for the experience they want in their life. And we want to understand their map of the world. We want to do that the same here. So I'll just put R and E and an M to save some time. And so we need to have that. We need to know those 2 things. And then for the obstacles, okay, the client of ours, they need to know what to look for. Okay, what specifically are they looking for? Now we've defined that there are 15 obstacles. Then they need to know how. They need to know how to actually find those obstacles. So we've created 7 types of questions. And all those types of questions have a bunch of questions and templates for this person. And then the last thing they need to do is to find the intensity. Okay, now, when somebody does this correctly, they are going to be able to pinpoint with their client exactly the place that that person needs to unplug and block. Okay, it's all about finding the blockage. If they don't do this right, they're going to waste their time and the client's time solving a whole heap of stuff that doesn't matter. When this is done right, they get massive results and massive change in a short time. Just like with one of my clients, okay? His name was Aaron. I was scheduled to work for 8 hours with him. He paid $2,000 for those 8 hours. Within an hour and a half, I had completely recoded his upset and his hurt around a significant event, okay? Within 8 months, he'd got the exact thing he wanted. He's engaged. I'm going to his wedding in January. And Aaron, if you're watching this, it might be happening. Mate, what a huge honor it has been to serve you. And so that's my story. Here's my model, okay? A, obstacle belief. Did you hear the why that's in there? Why, obstacle model, and then the last thing is steps. And all the steps are over here. And just remember that all of these steps, okay, I'm going to have to video and create and turn into an amazing product. This is all going to have how-to steps, okay? But that's coming up a bit later. So that's it all for me right now. I hope that you're on to your second step and you're building this out and you're starting to understand what I'm going to do. So the next step for me is deploy. What I'm going to do that is I'm going to write deploy up here. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to think about what's the end point of this step. Then I'm going to map out everything that they need to know in that step, and then I'm going to start chunking it into pieces, okay, just like I have these other two. I have no idea how long it's going to take us. It's 11:27 right now, so whatever time I say next time is how long it's taken me to do the next step. I'll talk to you really soon. Hope you're enjoying it.